All right, let's talk about something we all deal with. That internal battle that wages in our heads whenever we have to do something hard. You know what I'm talking about? Today, we are going to dive into the real science behind why your brain seems to hate hard work, and more importantly, how you can actually start winning that fight.
Okay, picture this. You've got a huge deadline, and it is breathing down your neck. The clock is just ticking away, the pressure is on, and you know every single minute counts. You know exactly what you need to be doing. And yet, there you are, just staring at your phone, doom scrolling. You know you should be working. A part of you really wants to be working. But for some reason, you just can't start. Sound familiar? Yeah. Don't worry, you're not lazy, you're just human. So what is actually going on here? For years, we've all been told that procrastination is just bad time management. But it turns out the real science tells a completely different and way more interesting story. Okay, here it is. This is the big aha moment. Procrastination has almost nothing to do with time. It is an emotional problem. It's your brain's knee-jerk reaction to try and cope with some kind of uncomfortable feeling you have about a task. That anxiety that you might fail, the insecurity about whether you're good enough, or just plain old boredom.
So to really get this, we need to meet the two main players in this internal war, the two characters inside your head who are constantly fighting for control. On one side, you have your rational planner. This is the logical part of you, living up in your prefrontal cortex. It understands the future, it makes long-term goals. But on the other side, you've got the instant gratification monkey. The monkey lives in your limbic system, a really old primitive part of the brain. And the monkey, it could not care less about the future. It just wants to feel good, right now.
And here's the thing. The deck is totally stacked against you. The monkey is running on one of the oldest, most powerful systems in your brain. It is hardwired to seek pleasure and, more importantly, to avoid anything that feels uncomfortable. So when your rational planner says, hey, let's tackle this big, important project, the monkey just starts screaming, no, that feels bad. Let's go watch some funny videos instead. And let's be honest, most of the time, the monkey wins.
So why is the monkey so darn persuasive? Well, the answer is all about brain chemistry. It's about how your brain's reward system is set up.
This chart just says it all, doesn't it? When you give in and choose a distraction, your brain gets this huge, immediate spike of a feel-good chemical called dopamine. It's like a little treat. And the actual work, well, the reward for that is way smaller, and it comes much, much later. Your brain is basically a reward-seeking missile, and it's always going to go for that quick, easy hit. And this isn't a character flaw, it's just biology. Your brain is literally wired to choose the short-term comfort of a distraction over the long-term benefit of finishing that hard thing. It's a survival mechanism that, well, doesn't always serve us in the modern world. Okay, so if the monkey is always running the show, how does anything ever get done? Well, this is where a third character enters the story. And this one only shows up when things get really desperate. Come on, you know this feeling. You've put something off for weeks, maybe months, and then, in one night fueled by panic and way too much caffeine, you somehow pull it off. How is that even possible? What switches in your brain? This is what happens. As that deadline gets terrifyingly close, your brain goes into full-on fear mode, and that fear awakens the panic monster. And here's the secret. The panic monster is the only thing the instant gratification monkey is afraid of. The monkey sees it, freaks out, and runs for the hills, finally leaving your rational planner at the wheel to clean up the mess. So, living your life in a constant state of last-minute panic? Not exactly a great long-term strategy. The real question is, how do we get the rational planner in charge before the panic monster has to show up? Well, luckily, we can actually use our brain's own rules against it. A really great first step is just to understand what your specific emotional trigger is. So as we look at these common types of procrastinators, see if one of these feels a little familiar. Are you the perfectionist, so afraid of not doing it perfectly that you never even start? Or maybe the dreamer, who loves the big idea but hates the actual work? Or are you the overwhelmed, the person who sees the task as this giant, impossible mountain? Just knowing which one you are can help you pick the right strategy. All right, our first strategy is so simple it's almost silly, but it is an amazing way to trick that little monkey into just letting you get started. Here's the hack. You just tell yourself, I'm only going to work on this for 5 minutes. That's it. This genius move lowers the threat level of the task so much that even the monkey's like, okay, fine, I can handle 5 minutes.
It makes the task feel safe. And what you'll find is, once you start, the hardest part is over. Inertia takes over, and you just keep going. Now for our second strategy. This one might sound a little weird, a little counterintuitive. We usually think that being hard on ourselves is what motivates us, right? Well, the research shows the exact opposite is true. This is fascinating, right? Studies found that when students actually forgave themselves for procrastinating, they were less likely to do it again next time. Why? Well, beating yourself up just creates more stress and shame, which are exactly the negative feelings the monkey is trying to run away from. It creates a vicious cycle. Forgiveness actually breaks that cycle. So let's bring this all home. This battle in your brain is totally real, but you don't have to live your life in a state of panic. You don't need to defeat the monkey. You just need to be a little smarter than it. So I'll leave you with this question. What intimidating mountain in your life right now can you just start climbing for the next 5 minutes?